My name is Brian Benson with James Bean Estate Sales in Oklahoma City, and today I'm here to talk to you about Tiffany items. Now, when we say Tiffany items, what a lot of people get confused about is that there's Tiffany's, the jewelry store. There's also Tiffany Studios, and where the difference is, Tiffany's, the jewelry store, the guy who founded that had a son, and in the early 1900s, when he passed away, his son inherited a large amount of money and started his own company called Tiffany Studios, and then later Tiffany Furnaces. And he ran that company until the Depression, when it went out of business. And during that time, he produced some amazing amounts of art. So when people talk about Tiffany's in the antique industry, they're talking about Tiffany Studios, not really necessarily Tiffany's, the jewelry store. And what I'm going to do today is show you some of the lesser known products that people don't know that Tiffany's made. Now, when people think about Tiffany's, they always think about these Tiffany lamps, and these lamps are the ones that sell at major auction houses for $20,000, $50,000, or even $100,000. And everybody knows about these lamps. They also have heard about his windows, which also can sell into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But some of the things that most people don't know about is he made desk items. And these desk items were made in the same factories. They were still considered art pieces. And they were extremely well made, very expensive. Only the wealthy could afford to buy them in the era. And they're really wonderful collectibles, and they're also really great for the first-time collector. What makes these really great for the first-time collector is, one, the affordability. Unlike the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you would spend, collecting a lamp, most Tiffany desk items sell for under $500, which is really nice if you start looking at the price points. Other nice thing that we talk about when we talk about Tiffany desk items is they're extremely well finished, extremely durable. They're solid bronze with gold or silver finishes. They're literally almost indestructible, so that most of them that were ever made are still out there. The other nice thing is we talk about is the documentation. There's so much research that's been done on these desk items, and there's so many books that have been produced that you can, when you can read one of the books, and literally over a weekend you're going to be an expert on Tiffany desk items. You're going to know more than anybody else knows just by reading a book. So it's really great for what we call the beginner collector. It's a very easy collection to get into. Some of the neat things is Tiffany was very well documented. And he would put, like, on the bases of some of these, he would put like numbers where it would say Tiffany Studios, and like this one says 1077. You can go to the Tiffany book itself, and you can open up the page to Tiffany, and then go down to 1077, which is right here, and it tells you this is an inkwell small Zodiac. It even tells you how rare this particular inkwell is, which is considered rarity 3, which is not that rare. And so it's really nice if you know nothing about this, you're an expert just by reading the books. Other really nice thing about these as beginner collectibles are, unlike the lamps where you really have to be worried about forgeries and frauds because they're almost always fakes, this really wasn't an item that people went out and faked. So almost always when you find these are always going to be real, legitimate. You don't have to worry about getting scammed like you do on some items. And also what we talked about with affordability, items like the pin tray, these water ends, and also they make some other pieces which literally, on eBay you can get them for under $100 sometimes. You have some of the more expensive pieces, which what we call the ones that are usable anywhere in the house, such as these little boxes, or the notepads that you could use anywhere, or picture frames. Those will bring a little bit more money. But some of the patterns like Zodiac, you're looking at anywhere from 100 to 200, 300 on most items. Very rarely they'll get up into the 500 or more range. Or other patterns such as the Spanish, which is one of the more expensive patterns. You might be in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. So what makes this a really interesting collectible is you can collect cheap, or you can collect high-end. You can collect every pattern of one piece of every pattern of every color and every finish, or you can collect just one pattern. You can collect, just inkwells. It's really kind of a really unique, versatile collectible, and it's a really kind of a fun collectible to get into. So remember, these make great collectors. The reason is because they're affordable, they're great quality, there's a lot of variety, and they're actually nice and easy to find. So this is what I would say, this is a great collectible for the beginner collectible because you can collect with confidence. Now, if you'd like to visit one of our estate sales in the Oklahoma City area, just visit jamesbeanestatesales.com and you can find information on our estate sales, or feel free to look at new videos which come out every week, every Monday, and you can find out more information about things that you might be interested in collecting.